Before you watch this episode of our cityCURRENT radio show, I want to invite you to join cityCURRENT's e-learning and online personal development platform called GrowthCurrent. I'm Jeremy Park, host of the cityCURRENT radio show and CEO of cityCURRENT. GrowthCurrent is your exclusive ticket to attend virtual events with global thought leaders, national guest speakers, and experts who can help you grow personally and professionally. It gives you access to success secrets, lessons learned, learning modules, and so much more. Being online, you can join us from anywhere in the world. Subscriptions are only $8 a month, or you can do bulk subscriptions for your team. Check out growthcurrent.com to learn more and to join us in our efforts to power the good. And now, on to the show. Welcome to the cityCURRENT radio show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals, organizations, making a difference, powering the good, and also to bring you very helpful information. And with that, we're honored to kick it off with our good friend, our guest, Robyn Householder. She is the president and CEO of Better Business Bureau, Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. So the BBB. How are you doing, Robyn?
Well, first off, thank you so much, Jeremy, for having me. We're doing great. It's crazy busy. Happy to be here and hopefully help provide some really good information to everybody.
Absolutely. You are on the front lines for sure when it comes to scams and fighting them and integrity and making sure that businesses operate with integrity. So give us a little bit of the background for the BBB, the Better Business Bureau of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, BBBs have been around for now going on 106 years, and it's really all about promoting ethics and trust in the marketplace. And we do that a couple of different ways. Our favorite way is when we celebrate marketplace role models. And that's typically done through our accreditation program, where we recognize companies that do great things the right way, and they get that seal that says they are an accredited business. The not so fun way, but absolutely necessary way that we also deliver that is where we denounce substandard behavior. So whether it's a scam alert, education on not getting ripped off through a particular transaction concern, the bad guys out there that are taking advantage of folks each and every day. Unfortunately, with the tornadoes and then followed up very closely with COVID, we have never seen scams running as high as we have right now. So it's very, very prevalent.
And that's why it's really important, obviously, to have you on the show to talk about how to avoid them, what to look for. So let's go ahead and dive in and let's start, unfortunately, with charitable giving, because right now nonprofits are really struggling and, you're seeing donations go down, but that becomes a prime opportunity for scams and those to pop up when it comes to trying to get your money, thinking that you're giving to a charity. So talk about what you're seeing on that regard.
Sure. Unfortunately, anytime there is a natural disaster, some significant activity that happens in a marketplace, like the tornadoes, like COVID, what you see is scammers just literally come out of the woodwork. Sadly, within hours of the tornadoes back in March, we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reports on solicitations that were being made, none of which were legitimate. And so what the scammer is going to do is they're going to take advantage of your desire to help. Everybody knows there's folks out there that are struggling right now, whether it's through illness, whether it's through loss of job, whether it's through storm damage. And so that's the story that they're going to tell you. They're going to ask you to support whatever cause it is that they sadly have probably made up. And they're going to also pressure you really hard to get you to donate immediately, which legitimate charities won't do. Now, because so much of us are spending time doing just what you and I are doing, and that's being in that electronic space, we're on our phones more now than ever before, we're on our laptops more now than ever before, that's where they're targeting you. You're getting pop-up emails, you're getting pop-up ads, you're getting targeted messaging through social media, you're getting texts to just click here and donate. And the reality of that is that legitimate organizations like the United Way or the American Red Cross, they're not going to send you an ad. They're not going to text you unless you already have an established relationship with them. And so when you're getting these unexpected solicitations, that's the first red flag. It's probably something you want to stay away from. But on the same token, if it sounds like something you want to support, then what we recommend is that you go directly to that organization's website. Because that way you can make sure that you're really doing business with the right organization, that your money is going to be used wisely, and it'll even tell you how the money is being used. Just recently, the Federal Trade Commission settled with an organization called Outreach Calling. This was a professional fundraising organization that was scamming millions out of consumers' hands. They were telling you that the money was going to go to Vietnam vets or local folks that are recovering from cancer and can't get out of the house, anything like that. And less than 10% of the money that they were collecting ever saw a charity. And I know, Jeremy, from just knowing you, if you're going to give $10 to somebody, you want to make sure more than $1 of it goes to the cause that you're interested in supporting.
Absolutely.
And so beyond going directly to their website, okay, we also say try to donate locally, because you're going to know those companies' names. You're going to know who those local organizations are that are supporting the community that you live in. But if you're not sure and you want to do some research to find out what organizations actually meet charitable standards, go to BBB Wise Giving, or it's called give.org. And that's going to do a lot of things for you. First off, it's going to tell you the nature of the organization, how much of their funds are going to support the cause, kind of are they truly a legitimate organization? And that's going to give you that peace of mind of knowing that we've checked them out so you don't have to. A couple of other sites that you can go to do research, go to Charity Watch. You can go to GuideStar. And so all of those organizations have great information. But lastly, probably the easiest thing to do is type in the charity that solicited your name, type their name in a Google search and type scam after it and just see what comes up. And then you're going to see what everybody else is saying about this organization. And sadly, probably most of it is not going to be positive.
Yeah, I do that with a lot of 800 numbers I get. And it's amazing your point of just what pops up. So
yeah, of course, I always chuckle when they try to scam me. It's like, wow, you really didn't do your homework with who you're calling. But yeah, the bottom line is we are all living in an age where we really rely on instant gratification. Your money requires you to take a breath. Do some homework, check things out. Don't just instantly respond. And I promise you're going to feel better about your donation when you take the time to look into the organization.
Yeah, extremely helpful advice. Carry that over. The holidays are right around the corner, which is hard to believe. And you look at how fast this year is flying by. And yet in many cases, it still feels like we're on, March 157th or whatever.
Right.
But with the holidays being around the corner, talk about the holiday shopping scams and what you're predicting and seeing already around those lines.
Well, interestingly enough, since 2016, we've already seen a 30% increase in online shopping patterns, which means there's even a 30% increase in online shopping scams. And so the holidays now just become a scammer's paradise, because we all know that more of us are going to shop online for those gifts that we want to provide everyone, which means you're going to be more targeted. There's going to be a lot more creative. Some of the things that happen is these scammers are going to create websites that look really, really familiar to a legitimate organization like Target or Amazon or Walmart. Again, you're going to see lots of pop-up ads. And keep in mind, most of these scams are just designed to steal your identity. And so all the more reason for you to do your homework and to make sure you're shopping at the right place. Businesses are becoming very creative in how they engage with you because they know that you're going to shop online. And so some of them have figured out a way to even allow you virtual tours of products and how they're working. And so again, we've sort of been trained that we can get all this great information. And so when they offer it up to you easily, it's hard to resist, but please, please, please try harder. You got to resist. And so a couple of things that you want to know. First and foremost, again, if you see that great ad for a price that's just amazing, great example right now is laptops with everybody working from home, kids working from on their schoolwork at home. Laptops are in high demand. They're hard to buy right now. The prices are very, very aggressive. So let's say you see an ad for a laptop that's a price that's just too good to be true. Make sure you go and look up online to see the website. Is that price really legitimate on Dell's website or on Best Buy's website? Make sure that you see that lockbox and the URL address. that is this a safe and secure site to shop from? Because what we're seeing with consumers, unfortunately, is they're making these purchases and they either don't get any product at all, or what they get is ridiculously substandard. It's a very, very cheap knockoff. And oh, by the way, you don't find the company when you try to go make the return. But the other thing is some of these scam sites are going to ask you to pay for things in a very non-traditional way. So they're going to ask you to pay with a gift card, or they're going to ask you to pay with a money order, or they're going to ask you to wire funds. Well, realize when you do that, all three of those, just consider it a donation. You're never going to get the money back. So what we want you to do is always, always shop with a credit card. We even recommend that you shop with one credit card. Keep that one credit card exclusive to all your online transactions, because that way you're going to be more likely to notice when you get that statement if there's something out of whack. Okay, so that's a really important practice. But also, if you do get taken advantage of, your bank's going to help you work through their fraud department to secure those funds back.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about Medicare scams and what you're seeing, unfortunately, on that side.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Medicare, Medicaid open enrollment starts just in a few days. It opens up on the 15th. Shortly after that, you have the the Affordable Care Act that opens up for enrollment on November the 1st. And so again, this is a shift in buying pattern, which means it's an invitation for scammers to come out of the woodwork. What we've seen is everything from folks calling you, saying to you that you're their medical advisor, you're the Medicare advisor, you're the open enrollment advisor. They're trying to gather your private information, specifically your social security number. They're going to try to charge you a fee for enrolling, which is absolutely inappropriate. And unfortunately, more often than not, they're going to target folks that don't have the kind of resources of support. So they're going to target those that are unemployed. They're going to target those that are elderly and try to pressure them into making decisions on the spot. Again, legitimate organizations will not do that. And so what we want folks to do is, again, do their homework, talk to someone that you trust. You know, is this a Medicare company that they would recommend? There's so much information out there. And of course, we can always guide them to legitimate organizations. Again, they will not actively solicit you if they're legitimate unless you already have a relationship and they're asking you to renew. Okay, but if you've never done business with them, they're not going to call you. And so that alone tells that consumer, buyer beware. Okay. And then the other thing that's happening is they're even incentivizing some of these calls where they're going to try to offer you up something, maybe like a free COVID testing or a free DNA testing kit. Again, these are not legitimate organizations. You know, the old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it most definitely is. And so we need you to be very wary. The other thing is that anytime an organization like that does offer you some spiff, you need to immediately decline, okay? Because that can get you into all kinds of other types of trouble. Beware of anybody that's offering free health screenings. You know, there's plenty of locations of legitimate organizations, clinics, Walgreens, CVS that can do those kinds of things. You're not going to get it from somebody that's soliciting you over the phone, Jeremy. It's just not going to happen. And then also always make sure you're guarding your private information. Again, legitimate organizations, Social Security offices, Medicare, Medicaid, they're not going to ask you for your Social Security number over the phone. They're just not. And so that's always the biggest red flag.
So much of this is doing your research. Knowledge is power, and just making sure, like you said, that if it's about your money, you got to think first and not, you know, react emotionally, because they want you to make that impulse decision and put you on the spot. But it's taking a break, doing your research, making sure that everything checks out, and then obviously then, you know, making the best decision. So talk about on your end, because you mentioned the website, but go back to that because you have a ton of helpful information and resources on your website and guiding people to the appropriate channels. So talk about where to go on your end.
Right. You know, just my office alone, which is Middle Tennessee and part of Kentucky, we maintain over 400,000 files on different businesses. And so it's rare for us to not be able to provide you the information that you're looking for. Plus, we partner with virtually every agency. So whether it's the Consumer Affairs Division or the Attorney General's Office or the Federal Trade Commission, again, we all share data and are more than happy to get it out to you in the right hands. So the first one I want to talk a little bit about is our scam tracker. If a consumer goes to bbb.org/scam tracker, this is a heat map tracking device. So you can report scams, and it tells you exactly where they're happening in the country, or you can look up scams by keyword search to find out if it's happening in your community. So this is a great resource. It is shared by government agencies that are law enforcement. So the AG's office, the FTC will use this to know what's happening throughout the US and then be able to take action. So for example, you might recall a few months ago, people were getting crazy things in the mail from China. You were getting seeds, you were getting ping pong balls, you were getting masks. So the Homeland Security was saying, report it, so they could start to track and see where that was happening. And so please use Scam Tracker as a resource and as a reporting tool. But when you come to bbb.org, first and foremost, you don't even need to know what city the company is in. Our system does that work for you. So just type in the company name, type in the nature of the product or the nature of the industry, and you're going to be able to find any information that you need, whether it's local or whether it's out of the country, because keep in mind there are BBBs throughout North America and all through Mexico. And if we don't have information on the site, just give us a call because we'll know how to find the information for you. We like to say our team has one really unified skill and they're just darn nosy. They dig until they find the right answer for you and they'll get back to you as quick as they can. So, one of the things we like to say is, before you do business with a stranger, check with a friend. Let BBB be your friend, okay? Don't be embarrassed because this stuff happens all day long. So if you don't want to tell your kids or you don't want to tell your neighbor and you're slightly embarrassed, guess what? We hear it all day long. Just give us a call and we'll guide you to the right place.
Well, then go ahead and mention the phone number and once again, the website. Where do we go?
Absolutely. So the bbb.org is our website, really easy, bbb.org. Phone number is 615-242-4222. Now, the cool thing about our phone number is it's 24/7. All you need is the phone number of the company you want to do research on. And so if we're not available to take your call, the system will read a report back to you and give you guidance, and it's unlimited. You can ask for a dozen numbers and it'll give you back whatever the information is you need.
Awesome. Well, Robyn, thank you for all you do. You and your team, absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming on and sharing a wealth of information. Greatly appreciate it.
Well, we're really grateful that you had us. Reach out anytime.